Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys and doing a little mini review on 3 fragrances from Perry Ellis. These fragrances are part of their Oud line. They are really affordable and they are perfect fragrances for fall. So if you'd like to know what I think, then keep watching. Now for transparency purposes, I did get these to review from fragrancenet.com, but as always, I'm always really excited to partner with FragranceNet. I really trust their authenticity, and the prices on these fragrances on their website is unbeatable. You're looking at spending between about $28 for the cheapest and under $40 for the more expensive one from this line. So they're really affordable fragrances for fall. And I actually reached out and mentioned to FragranceNet that I wanted to review these fragrances specifically for my channel because these are fragrances I have sampled in the past, I've really enjoyed, and I wanted to review for you guys, and they were very generous and sent me the bottles to review. So transparency purposes, there we go. But I trust FragranceNet. I've purchased from them. I've spent so much money on their website and I completely trust their authenticity. So that being said, let's move forward with the review. Now these are going to be 3 little mini reviews for you guys, and in the description box below I will timestamp where each of these reviews are. If you're only interested in one fragrance, you don't have to sit through the entire video. The first one I'm going to talk about is the first one I tried and ultimately the most popular one from this line, and it's the Black Vanilla Absolute fragrance. Now first, the presentation on these bottles is gorgeous. This is a really substantial, beautiful bottle. I know some people don't care about presentation. I particularly care and don't care, but for the price that you pay for these bottles, the presentation is pretty nice. Now the juice in here is really gorgeous. You're going to have bourbon, white tobacco, black amber, and obviously oud and vanilla. This is a really boozy fragrance. It opens up very sweet and boozy in the opening, and then as it dries down on your skin, you get more of that beautiful oud. I find this to be more of a gourmand-like fragrance in regards to the vanilla. It's very sweet and syrupy, but I find that it works really well with the white tobacco and with the oud and the bourbon. Overall, I think this is a really gorgeous scent, and although these are all unisex fragrances, this one to me might lean a little bit more on the feminine side if people consider gourmand sweet fragrances to smell more feminine. But I find that this to me smells like a beautiful boozy unisex fragrance with light hints of tobacco and black amber. Longevity on this fragrance on my skin is about 2 to 4 hours, and the projection is probably about medium to moderate projection the first hour or 2, and then it sits a little bit closer to the skin. This next one is really fantastic, and it is Vetiver Royale Absolute. You have vetiver, black pepper, cedar, patchouli, and there's also a little bit of I think juniper in here? I smell juniper in here. What I like about this scent is this scent smells completely different than the others, and the reason why I like that is that if you're looking for an oud fragrance, a lot of time there's a lot of florals and a lot of sweetness in oud scents, and some people really love that. I think oud lends itself really beautifully to sweetness and to amber and vanilla and rose and florals. I think that they're gorgeous. But there's something about this scent that really makes the vetiver shine without overshadowing the oud. And I think it's that little hint of cedar, patchouli, and specifically juniper in here. It's a really gorgeous scent. It's very crisp and peppery. There's not much sweetness to this whatsoever, but I really love the wood in here. The oud shines on my skin, and the vetiver is kind of more of a grassy vetiver, but it's not dry. It's a little bit more damp and moist. I think that works really well again with the patchouli and the juniper. Have you ever smelled a fragrance and it just smells like the outdoors, but in a really well blended, gorgeous fragrance way, and not just like you're walking outside after a thunderstorm? That's what this smells like. It smells like a really beautiful forest. You can smell the berries, you can smell the trees, you can smell the pine needles, you can smell the earth. It's just all really well blended and put together in a really exceptional fragrance. Longevity on my skin is about 4 to 6 hours, so a little bit better than the Black Vanilla Absolute. And projection for this one is moderate as well, so about arm's length through the first few hours, then it becomes a little bit more intimate at the end of the fragrance's lifespan. Last and certainly not least, we have Saffron Rose Absolute. Now, normally when you think of rose and oud combinations, a lot of people just immediately go to those really strong fragrances, think fragrances from Montal and Montserrat and really spectacular Arabian fragrances. And there's something about this fragrance that is completely different than all of those, but still pays its dues to those gorgeous, very classic, amazingly strong fragrances. Now you have rose and saffron in here obviously, and obviously oud, but there's also incense, and what I like about this is in the base there's sandalwood rather than what you would normally see as patchouli. I think the sandalwood kind of sets the stage and makes this a little bit more light and easily wearable oud fragrance. This is one of the fragrances where the oud is a little bit more died down. It's not as predominant as the other two. I'd say of the three in the Vetiver Royale, you get more of the oud than the other two. And this is the one where you don't get it as much, but it's still in there and it plays its part beautifully. I really like the fact that this is slightly smoky and woodsy and a little bit sweet, but the rose isn't overpowering. Now, a lot of questions that I get asked is I'm looking for a rose fragrance that is unisex or is masculine. I don't want to smell like a women's fragrance, and I'm talking about fragrances that are marketed towards women. This is a fantastic fragrance for that. The sandalwood and the incense and the saffron and the oud really tone down that rose and don't make it so much in your face, crazy powerful, crazy floral. The rose gives a nice sweetness, but it really plays to the sandalwood and the saffron in this scent. This is a really gorgeous scent. It's really easy to wear, and it's another scent that smells like it's worth a lot more money than what it is. Again, I think this one on FragranceNet is like $32. Like, it's really, really affordable. It's a really beautiful scent, and on my skin I actually get the best longevity. I get about 4 to 6 hours on my skin with this, and this one projects a little bit louder on my skin than the other two. So it's moderate projection, but it's pretty much moderate the entire time, and maybe the last 20 to 30 minutes becomes a little bit more closer to the skin. Overall, these fragrances from Perry Ellis are just fantastic scents. I was a fan of them way before I reached out to FragranceNet and mentioned I wanted to review them, and they're just really spectacular. They're very affordable. They're perfect, and I mean perfect scents for the fall, especially if you want to have a nice library of a variety of different scents that work really well in a variety of different environments. I myself live in the tropics and I love fall scents, but it's sometimes hard to wear those really thick, heavy, beautifully complex fragrances, and these are very wearable, very beautiful, and also very affordable. So that is my review of the Perry Ellis Oud fragrances. Again, it was Black Vanilla Absolute, Vetiver Royale Absolute, and Saffron Rose Absolute. If you guys have any experience with these fragrances, I'd love to know what you guys think below. There is a comment section, let me know. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will have links below to check out these fragrances at FragranceNet. Definitely go check it out. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!